Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the wild, wacky world of Captain Novalin, the first in a quadrilogy of games brought to us by the wonderful publisher Raya Systems. This is easily their best game, and it is the best diabetes-based game on Super Nintendo. There is actually competition, but we'll talk about that briefly during the actual run, because it's not very long, and there's not, honestly, a lot of technique to talk about. It's actually a pretty simple speedrun once you get to know it, but we're gonna go ahead here and start time now. So there's a lot of dialogue you're gonna miss, but the small concept of this game is we are going to go rescue the mayor from Mount Way Up Thar, because this was written by the Rocky and Bullwinkle team. Bad puns everywhere. And we have to go save him because we're the only superhero that knows the dangers of diabetes. And fun fact that many of you may not know, this is an actual company mascot. Novalin was a brand of insulin, and they paid for this game. And this is already going wonderfully, because we've already been hit twice. But so at its core, this is a very basic platformer. There's not a lot here outside of nightmarish, sugary foods waiting to murder you. And your job is to not eat. You don't want to touch those, because those aren't good for you. But you can eat these delicious foods that are lying on the ground, because that's a lot safer. You know, walking crackers, that's probably better for your body than just, like, a random-ass bowl of sugar cereal. But there's so much lore. There's a lot of lore we're not going to learn today, because we don't want no question marks. Question marks are not going to do us any good here. We don't need those extra points for trivia. We're going to be okay. But so basically the concept of this game was to teach kids how to manage their diabetes. So during those like cutscenes, it's showing you like where your blood sugar's at, what kind of dosage of insulin you should be taking, all that good stuff. And you could actually punch in a number given by your doctor that would work specifically with your diabetes like levels. Which, you know, that's kind of cool. If you went to the doctors and you learned that you had, like, a not-so-cool disease, but they're like, here, have this video game. And then you play the video game and you're like, I wish I just didn't. You've honestly made things worse, thanks for nothing. But yeah, the entire gameplay is just trying to get from point A to point B, but you gotta make sure that you're eating a balanced, good meal without eating too much. Because if you eat too much, you go into diabetic shock. And you actually, if you eat a little bit too much, you'll actually start to look fatigued, which is kind of funny. I don't care what you have to say, sir. Fun fact, though, you do actually have to count your taps during that, because if you over-tap, he jumps into that star, and that's precious seconds lost. But essentially, the main mechanic of which you have to get good at is how you attack. So you don't attack just by jumping. You have to actually push down to do like this sort of stomp move. And your hitbox is ginormous. And it's usually not in your favor. So you kind of have to be careful. But you also want to be speedy, because jumping causes the game to slow down ever so slightly. Oh, we don't want that. We know our blood sugar level's good. We don't need to check it. I'm a pro. I'm a diabetes vet. So I've got it perfect. Extra life just in case we need it. So you'll notice that we haven't changed much, and if you really wanted to shave those precious seconds, you could actually run the game with really high diabetes, where you're basically right on the cusp of dying, because it's quicker to get through that section where you're checking your blood glucose levels. You just mash A right at the top and go through. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I don't want to teach you guys how to not take care of this. This is an educational speedrun, so we're not teaching that. We're gonna try to just do this efficient and without risk of death. Oh god, too many chocolate bars. Thank you very much. Captain Novalin, very agile, but so you'll notice, yeah, a lot of the time my goal is basically to get my character down to the ground as quickly as possible without getting killed, of course. And you'll notice right there, like, it looked like it should have been hit, but again, hitboxes in this game don't exist. There's no such thing as a hitbox in this game. If we took the time to actually look at that logbook, it would have looked great. It would have been nice, even, consistent line. But we're not going to do that. We just wildly inject an amount of insulin. And this is the worst level by far. Because it's really hard, because you got these bubblegum shots now. These guys deliver, and they're a pain in the ass to dodge, and you... Unless you really know your timing, you pretty much have to just, like, jump and pray. And because we want to beat the game and not restart, we're going to take this as safe as possible. We're not looking for super fast time. We're just looking for... Got it. Sometimes you don't make that jump. Oh! Oh, we're okay. Oh, we're okay. Alright, we're salvaging. We're salvaging. I reiterate, Captain Novalin has to have one of the biggest hitboxes in any game I've ever dealt with. But it's alright. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. Alright, so we're gonna go up a little bit here because I'm going to have to grab this in order to dodge that, so... You're gonna notice we're gonna be slightly higher than we want to be right now, but actually it becomes quicker to get through that sequence because it's actually closer to the top of the meter, so... we don't want to talk to you. We came up with this mountain, and we're gonna disrespect the mountain. We don't need the rules. But if you do run into her, she'll talk to you about, diabetes care. And the fact that you could get a card that lets you know if you're on a mountain and you start dying, that if somebody finds you, they'll be like, hey, this person has diabetes, give them some sugar, like ASAP, or they're gonna die. It'll be on your hands now, because we gave them the card. But that's the fun fact you learn there. But like I said, this is, honestly, I am not a speedrunner. I don't like to try to act like I am. But this is a game even a fool can speedrun. Because all you gotta do is you just gotta jump and stomp. If you can jump and you can stomp, you got this. Let's try not to die here. Nope, we died. Alright. So the weird gelato ice cream cone got us, that son of a gun. It's okay, though. You're right at a checkpoint, so it wasn't even that big of a deal. I kind of overate again, but that's alright. It's true. Alright, so we're a little bit higher now. We're right close to being out of the safe zone. Now, mind you, being out of the safe zone, to my knowledge, doesn't actually affect your ability to, like, move or anything. It's just, you know, more risk of going into a diabetic shock. But yeah, there's a couple enemies in this game that you'll always have some kind of slowdown with. The soda pop and the sugary cereal, because they have those extra little flourishes going on of, like, spray and cereal chunks coming out. For some reason, it makes the game not be able to handle that extra stuff. Also, if there's more than one enemy on screen, it also gets slowed down, so... Ooh, got the double bounce. That was good. That's not always the easiest thing in the world. Alright, we're almost at the end, so we're gonna try to play this as safe as possible. But yeah, you're not really even battling the game so much as you are battling slowdown. Ah, damn it. We were right at the edge, too. Oh, and okay. We're down to one life already. Alright, now you have to play this extra super safe or we're gonna die, so... That's fine, I'll take the hit. The hit doesn't scare me. Oh, well, which must be taken. You had the guess. Every day at the times you and your dyslexic side. Alright, so that's what the question marks do. They give you quizzes. I did not mean to jump into that. That destroys a speed run. But now you learn something. Make sure you take insulin the way your doctor tells you to. But we're almost at the end! We're right here! So we gotta jump immediately. We're already almost at the end of this game. What a beautiful journey we've been on. This 2-day grueling journey to get to the Mount way up there. Alright, we have to be super careful. I'm trying to rush when I don't need to. So we're gonna take this nice and slow now, just to make sure. As long as I get to the boss, I likely won't get damaged, but... Because it is one of the easiest bosses I've ever fought, but... Goodbye, goodbye! Get out of here. Alright. And I missed the push down input. Alright. Can't choke now. We don't need to go all the way back. So we're gonna be as safe as possible now. We're no longer speed running. We're just trying to make sure we save somebody. A man's life hangs in the balance. We can't mess that up. Okay, it's fine. One hit, no big deal. We're probably gonna take another damage because... This one section right here is obnoxious. Yep, it's okay. Oh, alright, that's not okay. And that's really not okay, because we just game overed. Yep. Choke City. Well, now I'm gonna have to be the best speedrunner that ever lived if I want to get back there. So, since we went through this really quickly and I've now choked harder than any choke ever, now I'm gonna have to be extra good to make up for it. But I will explain. So, Rhea Systems was a publisher in the same way that LGN was a publisher. They basically existed in order to publish health-related games that they would get grants from other people to do. Like, Rhea Systems probably made money on their games because they were all funded as, like, non-profits. And they made 4 games. 2 of them were with Sculptured Software, who made such classics as Daydream and Davy, Virtual Bart and Bart's Nightmare, and what was the other one that I saw that I thought was hilarious? Stanley, the Case of Dr. Livingston, I believe. I'm mad at myself. I practiced this for like 2 hours before I started streaming, and I had it down to like no hit deaths, and I choked. That's alright. It gives us time. So there's 4 games that they ended up making. Rex Ronan and Captain Novalin were both made by Sculptured Software. And then many years later, Rhea System like came back out of the depths. Like, and I mean, this is maybe 3 years later since Captain Novalin to make 2 more games. Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus, which is a game about asthma. And because diabetes just hadn't been fought off enough, they made a second diabetes-related video game called Packy and Marlin, which is probably the worst game they made. And, to my knowledge, those 2 games were made in-house by a studio they concocted called Wave Studio, who are only credited to those 2 games. I would argue, for better or worse, that Captain Novalin is the best game in the series. I say it as a proud man who owns 3 out of 4 of those games, and he owns Rex Ronan, complete in box with the poster, hangs it proudly in his game room. Why do I love these games so much? I was just born that way, I guess is the way to put it. I tried to make it. That's a little bit better. I couldn't remember if you could jump over him or not. But yeah, Rex Ronan is an anti-smoking game as well. Both games are... Well, none of the games are particularly good. But, you know, they're a world of oddities that you could only get at the time when video gaming was at its highest. And when nobody knew how to make a good video game. Nobody. Alright, like I said, we're just trying to be nice and safe here. There's only one enemy. We do get our health refilled, so no reason to be chance-taking after we blew it in front of everybody. Rex or the Captain? Probably Captain Novalin, let's be honest. That man climbs a mountain and defeats all of these ginormous, deformed, like, monstrosity, like, sugary sweets. What the hell does Rex Ronan do? He just gets rid of a bunch of plaque. Like, with a special ray gun. It's not like Rex Ronan's super strong or anything. Who's the star of Inner Space? They can kick Rex Ronan's ass. I can't remember who actually stars in Inner Space, but yeah, I'm sure that guy got him. Alright, much better, much better. Everything's going a little better. He truly does. It broke my heart to find out that he was actually the, he was actually a company mascot, but, what are you gonna do? But that even blows my mind. This is technically a licensed game, if you want to get real down to it. Also, I'm convinced that's booze. Like, I think somebody told me once that's supposed to be like orange juice, and I'm like, nah, that's alcohol. That's the demons of Captain Novalin. I mean, imagine all the pressure that he's the only person that can save the world from diabetes. That's gonna get to anybody. Oh, we drank a little too much milk. That's not great, but that's okay. We can fix this. This is not a game ender by any stretch. Fine, we'll just damage boost right through that. Alright, we're gonna be kind of high on the diabetes scale, but that's alright. What are you gonna do? Okay, we're still in the safe zone, actually. We can still have a perfect safe zone run, so we're not out of this yet. Alright, we're not talking to you still. That damn licorice. He got to us. Alright. So we script the grape intention. Oh, yep, I forgot. That's my favorite enemy. He's programmed just to walk to his death. I love it. Like, he's a beginner's trap if you jump over without looking, but otherwise he'll just walk right off. He takes care of himself for you. That soda had no purpose in life, and he decided that was it. If he couldn't stop the diabetes man, then what was the point? No, don't hit it, don't hit it, don't hit it, don't hit it. We don't need to check it, thank you. Also, you should always be checking your blood glucose level. Don't be like Captain Novalin, he's a professional. Alright, double jump right over that, cool. Alright, so see, now we're a little bit lower now. We've gotten ourselves back into a safer zone. Imagine if I had this run the first time, then we'd be talking something. Also, I'm not gonna lie, some of the monstrosities in here, like, if I was the kid playing Diabetes, I would just be petrified. I feel like if I was an 8-year-old who'd been given this game, like, I would be scared to, like, ever look at sweets again. I'd assume I'd just be murdered for it. Like, I just assume that food is out to kill me and murder me. Like, I don't know if this necessarily helped. Kids are traumatized them, if I'm being honest. I'd love to know, did you get Captain Novalin as a child? Send a letter to P.O. Box 55555, Gunstar Drive, and I will feature you on an episode, and we'll finally decide. Alright, we don't care. We're gonna just power boost through that, we're gonna make sure it's that, and we're at the final boss again. For what it's worth, I've completely forgotten what the actual name of the final boss is, so if anybody wants to know, I don't know. He's evil guy for our intents and purposes today. The reason you want to kill enemies and be as short, because you can stomp as quickly as possible. You want to make sure you're going to hit the enemy, but the quicker you do the stomp, the quicker your slowdown ends, which is why killing enemies generally is advantageous, assuming they cause slowdown. Wow! Of course, optimal run the second time through. This ain't horseshoes, it ain't close enough to count, but I'll take it. We'll just damage boost through this part, that's fine. Alright, here, we didn't need that. Hi, sure. I got it wrong. That's what I get for jumping into the question. But here we go, and here is the one boss fight in the entire game. So all you gotta do is jump over these pies, because those things will really get the sugar flowing. You gotta hit them 3 times, and then you gotta be careful, because that electricity can hit you after the fact, so we don't want that. And then here's the mayor, and I picked wrong, but it doesn't really matter for the speedrun, because it would go just as quickly whether I answered it right or wrong. And that's gonna be time. And I forgot to count down because I'm a jerk. And there it is! We saved the world from those evil aliens. That's what they are. Sure. That was big government making those. And we now have the key to the city, and that is the only Rhea Systems health-based game you should probably play. And easily, like I said, the best diabetes game on the Super Nintendo. It's true. And now that if you ever want to kill somebody with diabetes, I guess just throw a single pie at them and that'll do it. So, you didn't hear that from me though, that's allegedly. That's not instructions, don't go and do that. Thank you all for the GGs and everybody. Thank you all for coming out and supporting the awesome speedrunning stream for Dave this weekend. And thank you, Dave, for giving me the opportunity to show off one of the few games I like enough I'm willing to actually speedrun. And I'm very excited to see more Phantom bad games? I don't know what to call this block. It's the best block though. Only the mightiest can survive. Stick around because everyone's favorite beat 'em up Bay's kid's up next. and I'm excited to see how broken that game gets. So, thank you all for having me tonight, and stick around for more goodness.